My name's Sue Higginson, and a very, very warm welcome to you all. And thank you so much for joining us this evening as the parents and guardians of the young people that you entrust to us, who are our VIPs, of course, our students. We are taping this event this evening. We can't see anybody who's attending, only the people that are speaking, so you can relax in that respect. And there will be an opportunity at the end of the session if you'd like to ask any questions. We have had some parents who've been unable to join us this evening who've already forwarded some of those questions in. We may not be able to answer them all here this evening, but we will get back to everybody. If there's a personal question, something that's particular to the young person that is with us, one of our students, please don't put that into the chat box. We will pick that up with you separately because everybody else can see that chat box. So thank you again. Now, who would know this time last year that a year later we'd all be here in a pandemic, and it's affected everybody. It's been challenging, there's been tragedy, and we're all acutely aware at the college that the most important thing is the safety of our staff and our students. And one of my colleagues will talk to you about what we have in place there. But I can certainly reassure you as the principal that the hands, face, space is very much the way we are operating at Wirral Met College. And Christine will also talk to you about the new thing that we've introduced, which is the new lateral flow tests, which will enable our students and staff to be tested regularly. It's just another layer of safety during the pandemic. But boy, are we glad that we've been able to see our students back, to start to come back from Monday. We have had a number of students throughout the lockdown. Students who are in families of key workers or vulnerable students. So we haven't actually been closed at all, but from Monday we were delighted to welcome everybody back. I'm actually in Conway Park at this point in time talking to you. In addition to the safety precautions that we've put in place and the testing, another one of my colleagues, Philippa, will talk to you about the other things that we've put in place and the things that were there to support you, like access to laptops and so on, which is really important. But I'd also like to say thank you to you for your support as parents and the partnership work that you have shown with supporting homeschooling. Of course, as well as being members of staff who are delivering education and training, we are ourselves parents, grandparents, guardians, and we also know how difficult a time it is to run your lives and often working and also to homeschool. So thank you very much for the support that you have shown to our students. As a good Ofsted graded college, with grade 1 outstanding for the support that we give to students with high needs. We're very proud of the work that we do. And we've invested tens of millions of pounds in the resources at the college in terms of our campuses, with new campuses such as Wirral Waters and the Oval, fairly new, and there will be a new campus for professional studies coming online in September. But all of that investment is there for our VIPs, our students. And it's just a shame that while we've been in national lockdown, that there's been a bit more of a restriction on the ability of those of our students to access that. So let's hope that now we can make up for that and they can get the full benefit of the resources that we have. We don't just talk about qualifications, and again, one of my colleagues and her team will talk to you about how we focus on careers. We're very aware that the young people that come to Wirral Met have chosen a career, and that is their ultimate goal. So it isn't just about how we get to the end of this academic year. You'll hear about what we do to help them with their next steps. And last but not least, we all need support. We all need help from time to time, and our fantastic support team are there to help with all of those other things that can sometimes get in the way of helping the students with their learning experience. So I think that what we will be talking about now is some of those things, and we'll just touch base with you to give you a glimpse of that. And obviously, we will follow up with any questions at the end. One of the questions that's coming around key workers, we're not school, we are college. So whilst the timetable that the students have is not the same as school, and they can indeed attend if they're 16 to 18 or 19 to 24 with an EHCP plan for their timetable, but it is different to school. So we will pick that up with you individually. So thank you very much again. I'm going to pass over now to the Vice Principal who's in charge of curriculum. So hopefully you will be there. Are you there, Chris? Yes, I can see you.
I am, thanks, Sue.
All right, well, I'll pass over to you.
Brilliant, thank you so much. I'd also like to offer you all a warm welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend our information event, and it's absolutely wonderful to see so many of you joining us this evening. I'm going to take you through a few slides now with the intention of offering reassurance that we as a college are taking every measure to support students with their learning and assessments, whilst also being mindful that we are still in the midst of this pandemic. Our utmost priority is to keep students safe, whilst ensuring that no student is disadvantaged due to the situation that we still find ourselves in. Next slide, please. As you'll be aware, the college has continued to be open, albeit remotely, since the country was locked down in January of this year. Some students, as Sue mentioned earlier, have been attending throughout lockdown, and they will continue to attend as timetabled. From the beginning of this week, 8th of March, all our college buildings reopened, which we are really happy about. So all 16 to 18-year-olds and students with an education, health and care plan will undertake most of their learning in college, as well as continuing with some blended online learning. When students are expected to be in college and online, will be confirmed by their tutors, and this is likely to reflect the planned timetable that was scheduled from January, which continues to observe staggered start times and blended learning. There may also be a requirement from now, bearing in mind we've just returned and opened the buildings, to increase attendance on site over a phased period of time, particularly where students must undertake practical assessments and/or exams. So the frequency of this will be confirmed by tutors, likely phased, but always observing social distancing guidelines. Next slide, please. As Sue mentioned earlier, each campus has a designated area for testing. We've established lateral flow sensors on all our campuses. This is entirely voluntary and requires consent. As Sue also said, these are for people with no symptoms to undertake tests to check if they've contracted the virus. Safety is our priority, and students who attend on site will be able to have 2 tests each week, and this will be arranged with support from tutors. Next slide, please. Our pastoral support and additional learning support teams have been working throughout lockdown, as many of you will be aware. They will return to supporting students in the classroom, as well as continue to support online, and they can be contacted in the usual way. There's no change there, both on campus, online, and on their mobiles. So that support is still very much in place and continuing. Next slide, please. All students are supported with catch-up sessions to ensure they're progressing in their qualifications. Weekly one-to-one support provided, and small catch-up practical sessions for students who need to complete practical assessments. Next slide, please. With regards to work experience and placements, Virtual work experience and industry week have continued throughout lockdown. So hopefully you heard all the wonderful visits from our employers who supported industry week and the masterclasses they put on for the students. Where possible, students will recommence their placements in the workplace, but to be mindful that safety is our absolute priority, as I know I keep saying. But all the risk assessments will be reviewed in the light of current guidance. We won't send any students into placements unless we're convinced it's absolutely safe to do so. But we do also recognise how important that experience is for our students, and we're working solidly to make sure that they have that experience. Next slide, please. Summer exams and assessments. So we understand that there may be some confusion over summer exams and assessments because there's so much information to work through. We want to assure you that as a college, we are working closely on our students' behalf with all the various awarding organisations that issue those qualifications to ensure that no student is disadvantaged as a result of this pandemic. What I would like to do, however, is to stress how imperative it is that students attend college for any practical assessments or additional support sessions, and to attend their online sessions when they're timetabled to do so, whether this is for their vocational main qualification, English and maths, whether it's GCSE or functional skills. Because regardless of whether the decision is teacher assessed grades, centre assessed grades, or other, the students will not be able to achieve their qualification if they do not have enough evidence of learning to satisfy the awarding organisations. The tutors can only do so much. So again, I can't stress how important it is that students attend and take advantage of all the support that will be offered to them from now. If you can support us with this as parents, then there's every chance that the students will achieve the necessary evidence to make sure that they can continue on their career path and have a positive outcome. Next slide, please. This is a fantastic slide to show you, just to share with you, because we work with over 500 employers. They work with us regularly, supporting us with work experience, more substantial industry placements, traineeships, apprentices, masterclasses, and they work with us very collaboratively to enable progression to further education and higher education. And we want to be able to offer all of these opportunities to our students, and we continue to strive to do that. Next slide, please. So we wanted to share this exciting opportunity with you as parents, because we realise that as parents, you might not be aware that as part of our commitment to lifelong learning, the college offers a range of free and flexible courses for you as adults. A small selection are shown on the slide here, but if you follow the link, you'll be able to see the whole range of courses on offer. So as well as some courses that can be accessed on site, we also have a brand new platform with free online courses, flexible. So please, some of them may only be available for a limited time free. So if you are thinking of some professional development as part of your current role, or you want to try something completely new, take advantage of this free training. It might not be available forever, and we wanted to just make sure that you had sight of this. So thank you for your time, and I'm going to pass over now to my colleague Philippa, who's going to talk to you about careers. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris. First of all, reiterate what both Sue and Chris have said. It's just amazing to see so many of you here this evening. And my role today is to make sure that you're all aware of the financial support that might be available to the young people you support. Some of the people you look after will already be receiving payments towards meals and travel, or they might be loaned college laptops or Wi-Fi routers. But we do know that not everyone who's entitled are accessing this support, and it's there to support their study. That's what we have it there for, and we really want to encourage people to take us up on the offer of that support. So we have sent application forms to your households, but we do know that snail mail might bounce up, or it goes in the recycling on bin day. So please encourage your youngsters to get their forms into us. If you need another copy, we can get those, they can pick them up from the reception desk, or we can send them out to them, whatever site they're on. Even if you think they might not be entitled to anything, the chances are they'll be surprised. Some of the support that's on offer does link to free meal entitlement, but not all of it. So please get forms into us if you haven't already. It is as simple as filling in a form, sometimes providing a little bit of evidence, and you can get monthly payments for meals, for travel, and as I say, access laptops or dongles, Wi-Fi routers to help with the Wi-Fi at home. Some of you will also receive the absolutely amazing hampers from the local authority for students who are entitled to 3 meals in the vacation periods. And we worked tirelessly with Neo Community to get those to students in most need, and I think they were very gratefully received by a lot of people. So I've already got my careers education slide up. So I'm also the college's careers lead, and our approach to careers education at Wirral Met is very much in line with our college mission, which is all about enhancing the economic prosperity of young people, adults and employers through high quality work-related education and training. And I can assure you that we always have our students' future in the forefront of all their learning. Your young people have made the decision to come to a vocational college. The chances are they've got an idea of what they wanted to do. But our team of student advisors are currently carrying out talks with all of our study programme groups about progression options at the end of the study, and that might be a continuation onto a further study programme in FE, or an apprenticeship or higher education degree level programme, or into employment, and we're there to absolutely support that. Our student advisor team works really closely with the curriculum teams, but we're also completely impartial, so the student's choice and aspiration is at the very centre of everything we do. We're also there to provide personal advice and guidance, so encourage students to use that facility, and the team can draw up an individual action plan with them, whether they aspire to a particular career or even if they don't really know what they want to do yet. And that's at whatever level they're currently working at. We can move on to the next slide, please. And if you want to find out more about careers, either for young people who are students with us at the moment, yourself, or the people you might have in the household, you can use our website to find out details of related jobs in the area, what the earning potential is, and the projected growth in the sector. So if you go onto the website and go onto careers, you can just type in the name of any careers and it'll bring you into a page like this. The one we've gone for here is nursing. It gives you an idea of the amount they can earn. It will also tell you whether the sector is in growth or decline, and give you some details about what the job entails. That only shows you a little bit of the information on each career on that slide. So there's loads of information on there. Please do go and look at that if you'd like to. The very last thing I want to mention is Pro Portal, which is a window for you into how your children or your wards are progressing on their current course. So again, you log into this through the college website. If you click on the button that says Parents, you'll be able to submit an account request. You will need the student's ID number, and on that you'll be able to get details of any comments the tutors have made about their progress, about attendance, the marks they're receiving. So it gives you a really good insight as to how your young person is progressing in college. If you need any information or help with that or anything else relating to the college, we'll have contact details coming up at the end. Before we answer some of your questions that come up in the chat, it would be really, really useful for us if you can select an answer to the question that's just popped up, so we can improve these events in the future. And once you've had an opportunity to do that, I'll be handing over to our Vice Principal, Phil Jones, who's going to read out some of the questions that people have asked in the chat, and the panel will answer them if they can. Any that we can't, we'll get back to you if you let us have your details. But please don't type your emails into the chat. Send us an email to marketing@wmc.ac.uk or use the inquiries form on the website, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible with the answer to the questions you've asked. So I think all of the panel are going to pop up again in a moment, and Phil's going to let us have some of your questions. Thank you.
Hi, Philippa. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, we've got quite a few questions actually. So the first one we've had is my family circumstances have now changed. How can I check if I'm entitled to bursary or any free school meals? Well, what we can do, sorry, Philippa might be able to help with that.
Okay, so with that, what I'll do is I'll pop up an email address and a telephone number into the chat. That will be a link to our student financial support team. They'll be able to check what details you gave us before, and if your circumstances have changed, we can reassess the current situation. As I say, don't put any details into the chat here. I'll just put an email address in so that you can get in touch with us. Does that help?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thanks, Philippa. Another one is my daughter is a late starter, and some students have been receiving laptops. Can she still receive one? Actually, absolutely spot on. Yes, they definitely can. So if they come into college, is it Philippa Good Student Services? You better direct them.
Yeah, if they come into college and speak to reception again, we will need them to fill in some paperwork because obviously these are on loan, but we can absolutely do that.
Okay. Another one we've got is, will GCSE exams be happening this year? Actually, they won't be happening exams, and we're still waiting for further guidance from the awarding body. But generally what will happen, if it's the same as last year, which we expect it to, then it'll be the work that students have already produced, and they'll be provided a grade by the tutor. Now, the grade will depend on certain things, so the work completed, their levels, their attendance. So that's still carrying on. So we expect the students to still attend their English and maths classes for GCSEs, because that will support their grade overall. But we're awaiting further guidance from Ofqual. But as far as we're aware, there's no actual exams taking place. In fact, I think the government's already said that. We've got another one on work experience. Are students having work experience? Sue might be able to support with that one.
Yes, certainly. Okay, well, absolutely. The whole point of Wirral Met College and Vocational is that we're preparing young people and adults for the world of work. So with work experience, there has been an impact with COVID-19, as you'd expect. So for example, when certain parts of our visitor economy, restaurants and so on are closed, obviously that prevents the work experience that would normally have been available. But you can be absolutely assured that we're working with the hundreds of employers that we work with anyway, and we will make sure that those opportunities are available. The other thing is as well, that and I've seen something in the chat, so I'm going to cheat here, Phil, and just answer the question quickly, okay, because I know the answer to that, and that is about can we also provide free courses for adults? And again, as parents, many of our students are adult learners. Yes, of course. So what we want to do is to not only make sure that we give you access to that information because it may be helpful to you, but also we've been putting some free sessions on for parents and for staff as well who are homeschooling children. That sometimes helps with that. And, you know, the whole thing has been an explosion of digital skills. So, you know, don't be concerned if you or your the young person that you're supporting has needs around the digital skills. We have all been in that place. In fact, we started this whole session planning to do it on Teams, but there were so many people that wanted to be part of it that we outgrew that, and so we moved it to Zoom. So even that has been something that we've had to move very quickly to. So absolutely, we will support your sons, daughters' charges, but what we'll also do is make sure if there's anything we can do to help you. Lifelong learning is forever, and we're here for you too. So we'll make sure you get that information, and hopefully that will make a difference. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. This one might be for Chris. We've got a few parents who'd like to speak to tutors regarding some of their programs, assessments and some support. So will they be able to access their tutors, Chris?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we are, fully accessible to you as parents. We expect that you will be wanting to track the progress of your son, daughter ward. So yes, please, if you can get in touch with us. If you can either access there's a live chat facility or phone reception, and they can put you through to the person that you need to speak to. But absolutely, yes, you can.
Okay, thanks, Chris. There's another one as well here, asking when are we going to have students back full time. I can probably answer that. We're actually on a phased return at the moment, so as we move into the next few weeks, there should be more and more students coming back onto campus. Especially, we've got lots of assessments to take place, so that should take place over the next few weeks, and you should be provided with that information via timetables. But if there's any problems whatsoever, please contact us and just let us know. As Chris said, we're here to support you and to help you, but we're following our own guidelines at the moment. So we're just making sure that everyone's safe when they come back. We get everyone tested, and once that's sorted, then we can start introducing far more people back into the building. But your sons or daughters should be at least having 1 day a week back into college at the moment. If they're not, then please contact us and let us know. But that will be an ongoing thing. Another one, maybe Sue might be able to help this one as well. So physical sports. So we've got a son or daughter who's looks like on a sports course. Will they able to do the physical activities as well as their coursework at the present time?
Yeah, well, of course, Phil, it's as you said, we're very much guided by government guidance, and so our intention is to get back as quickly as we can to the practical sides of all aspects, including sports. So the team are working on that now and looking at how we can do that safely. There is a sense of outdoor activity is actually safer than indoor activity. But what we'll also be doing, although the gym will be open as a public gym, we are looking at how we can apply the necessary safeguards in there to enable us to operate as a learning resource. And so that is very much being addressed at the moment. And the other thing is, someone else has asked in the chat that their son is on an electrical course and of course has missed out on a lot of the practical side of what would be being done during the lockdown, and is there an opportunity to catch up? Well, first of all, yes, there absolutely is, no question about that. And secondly, this is a national situation, so not only will we be working with our students to make sure that we fit them with the level of confidence that they need and the skills that they need to get to assessment, we are also working with the organisations that make the awards. So as a college, we work with 39 different awarding bodies, and they are regulated by Ofqual. And I think often people think it's the college's decision as to what happens with assessment, and that isn't the case. What we're doing is working with those awarding bodies, and we are in our students' corner to make absolutely sure that they are not disadvantaged as a result of the impact of COVID-19. And you've got our absolute assurance. Having said that, as my colleague Chris said earlier, we do have to evidence learning, and it is important that their online work is completed, and that when they're expected to attend online, as well as in college, that they do both of those things, because that all completes the sort of package of evidence of how we then build on that to help them catch up. But yeah, absolutely. And I know that that is the biggest worry of students. And you often see on the news, it's all about A-levels. We know it isn't. It's about anyone who's been learning in the last 12 months, whether they're at school, at college, or at university. They will have had a fairly rough ride because of the lockdown. And our job is to try and make sure that we make that they're not disadvantaged. So yes, we will work with them and with you. And there are a number of different other things that have come up about students who feel they might need support. That's fine. We've got a whole team of support workers. All you need to do is mention it to your tutors and we will sort that out for you. Or if you as parents would also like to have a chat with our support workers, then yes, absolutely. We're here to help you. You've all had enough on your plates with juggling pandemics and work and homeschooling and everything else. If we can help make that a little bit easier for you, that's what we're here to do. So hope that answered that.
Thanks, Sue. And following that up, I mean, it looks like there's quite a few parents with students in the construction courses worried about catching up with their vocational, their practical work. Absolutely. I mean, a lot of the theory is being done. We can't teach brickwork and carpentry or electrical online, so the practical will be taken. That's a priority for now for our tutors. So we are in understanding of that, and we will be trying to catch up as best as we possibly can within the time frame that we've got. But as Sue said, we've got availability for catch-up sessions, and then we'll be putting those in place as well. So, and while a timetable, maybe 3 days, we might be putting on some more extra sessions in that time to support your sons and daughters to get through. So that's priority for us now, getting that updated. We've mentioned, someone's mentioned here about the Erasmus and the changes to Brexit. Actually, I've got a bit of news for that as well. I think it's there's the new one for the British side of Erasmus is now going to be called Turing, and that is taking place at the moment, where they're looking at the funding and how that's going to work. So Erasmus will be changed for further education to become Turing, and we're waiting further information on that from the government, but it will be replaced to support students traveling abroad. And Sue might have some information on that possibly.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, that's right. You know, we're live. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the important things about developing courses that lead to careers, not just jobs, but careers, is the importance of work experience. And in some of the programs that we do, for example, in travel and tourism and some of the hospitality and catering, that experience to work abroad has been absolutely invaluable. And so we will do everything we can to take every opportunity so that we can provide those opportunities for students, because we know what a rich learning experience that is. I should tell you as well, just slightly before the first lockdown, we had 3 groups of students abroad at that time, brought them all home very safely. And so, you know, managing all of this, what is really lovely this evening is that we're now starting to talk about how we eventually return and hopefully slowly return to the new normal that enables us to start looking at these things again. At the moment, obviously, any international travel that isn't essential is not legal. So we will be working with that. But because Erasmus have gone does not mean we will not be exploring every opportunity to ensure our students get those opportunities. So yes, absolutely.
Thanks very much, Sue. I think we're pretty much a bit over time actually now, but I think that's bringing it to a close. We've answered most of the questions. If we've missed a few, we'll get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. I think Sue's now going to have the final word and we'll close it. Thank you.
Okay, so just once again from myself and on behalf of myself and my colleagues, I know what challenging times we've all been through. We will do our very best to support our students and you through this learning journey. And if there's anything that we can do, please, we're only a phone call away or a click away. And if there's anything that hasn't been answered this evening, please do use the information that's on the screen now to contact us. And if you contact that number, we will guarantee that someone will get back to you personally to deal with your particular query. But please, please don't hesitate at any stage, not just in terms of parents' evening. If there's something we can do to make it better, to improve the chances, that's why we all come into work to do it. So lovely to see you all, and thank you very much for your time. Good night.